Um, so the kind of the last part of the talk here, I want to talk about, Amherst as a culture wants to have a huge impact. We want to do things like Valeria. At some point, we might make strawberry flavor simply because we can, but we're trying to focus on those products that really make a difference in the world. And diesel is a really hard target. Again, at dollars, per barrel that we're competing with, we have to get the cells really, really efficient. And if that was our only target along the way, we wouldn't be a public company. We still have a long way to go before we get there. We're working really hard. We think we're going to get there, but it's not going to happen instantaneously. The ethanol industry down in Brazil has been going for the last 30 years to get their cells as efficient as they can to make ethanol. And they're kind of approaching that maximum yield. It took them 30 years to get there. And we don't have 30 years to get to diesel. We don't have 30 years of luxury because of the global warming problem. But we had to have a way to ramp to get there in little bits and pieces, and a way to keep our company going and other companies like ours going in the meantime. And so, again, one of the things is we're not a biodiesel company. We're basically a petroleum replacement company. And these are all products along this axis here, based on market size, of products that are made by traditional petroleum that we think we can replace. And not only can we replace it, but we think we can have an impact by replacing it. The first of these is down here under cosmetics, flavors, and fragrances. Again, it's not curing malaria. Why would you want to make, makeup? It's not, world-changing. Although I would argue it is. High-end cosmetics called squalane. It's got a really interesting history. In World War II, this is a JM Raiden interceptor aircraft. In World War II, the U.S. cut off the supply of oil to Japan. And we had a huge advantage. Our B-29s that were bombing Japan could fly higher than any of their interceptor airplanes could. Towards the end of World War II, when this airplane came online, what they were using for oil is they go into shark livers and dogfish livers. They isolate this compound called squalane. It had these great cold properties. It actually allowed their JM interceptors to fly at the same height that B-29s. I was really glad they only discovered this at the end of the war for the U.S. But after the war was over, the Japanese fish industry realized that this oil, this emollient, had really great properties for skincare. It's a wrinkle remover. It's kind of that nice, soft, silky feel that you get when you put on hand lotion. But it only comes from shark livers and dogfish livers, which are not in great supply. These populations are overfished. It has a huge environmental impact, and especially when you're killing the shark and just collecting their liver. Maybe their shark and the rest of that shark is going to waste. It's a really, really bad thing. Environmentally devastating to these populations of beautiful creatures. We realized we took our farnesene molecule and we put it together in a certain way and then treated it with a certain kind of chemistry. We could actually make squalane, and replace this entire supply of squalane that comes from sharks with a semi-synthetic squalane that we make from our fermentation process, and eliminate the need to go fishing for sharks to get this particular compound.